Tehran doesn't wake up with coffee, it wakes up with this. Here, the work starts long before the sun even comes up. Look at this line. Nobody's in a hurry. Waiting for good juice here is basically a form of meditation. Next stop is Darband, where every single corner looks like it belongs in a photo. This is the local version of a menu, and no words are needed here. Up here, the river does all the talking, while everyone else just sits down and lets time slow to nothing. And even the ducks come running like they got invited too. And then there's fruit leather, sweet, sour, sticky, and impossible to say no to. The rule here is simple. Stir as fast as you possibly can. This ice cream is still made the old-fashioned way. This is one of the strangest, most delicious things you'll ever eat in Iran. It looks like noodles, but it's not. And somehow, this city just hid one of the craziest classic car collections you'll ever walk into. But this is where the night really begins, because when the sun goes down, Tehran's youth don't go home, they go out. In Iran, this is called vitamine. It's a milkshake so filling it can almost count as a meal. It starts with ice cream and date syrup. First, cocoa and saffron go in. Then figs, coconut, and rose petals. Next comes sesame, walnuts, and pistachios. A little rose water is added. Then comes the cream. And finally, pineapple. It may look like a lot, but once everything is blended together, it becomes a cold, smooth, and creamy milkshake. And in the middle of a hot Tehran summer, it's easy to see why people love it. This place has been going for more than half a century. It passed from grandfather to father and from father to son. So what's happening behind this counter isn't just a job. It's something the family has carried forward one generation at a time. This is my first time trying it here, and honestly, it's really good. It's cold, creamy, and the texture is right where I want it. Not too thick, not too runny. I really like the coconut on top. It adds a little extra flavor and honestly makes the whole thing taste even better. This is another really popular dessert in Iran. It's called majoon. The ingredients are vanilla ice cream, saffron ice cream, date syrup, coffee powder, cocoa powder, cinnamon, banana flavoring, figs, coconut, rose petals, sesame, pistachios, walnuts, rosewater, cream, and pineapple. Once the base is ready, they start decorating the top. They add banana, coconut powder, sesame, cashews, pistachios, walnuts, pineapple, and cream. Then they finish it with date syrup and a little pistachio powder. This family has been making ice cream here for more than 80 years. The shop was founded by the late Haj Safar, and his family still runs it today. At first, it looks like a neighborhood ice cream shop. But once you step inside, you realize there's a small ice cream factory working away in here, tucked into the streets of Tehran. They make Iranian saffron ice cream, and a longtime favorite across the country. This big metal vat is where the whole process starts. First in is the sugar, and yes, it takes almost an entire sack for a batch this size. From what I could tell, they make a fresh batch about once every 2 days. What you're seeing here is salep. It may not look like much, but it's one of the key ingredients in traditional Iranian ice cream. Salep is traditionally made by grinding dried orchid tubers into a fine powder. It helps thicken the mixture and gives the ice cream that dense, slightly stretchy texture that makes it so different from an ordinary scoop. With the sugar and salep in the vat, he uses a metal paddle to mix them together. No machine for this part, just a steady hand, making sure the two dry ingredients are evenly combined. Next comes the milk. It comes in these large aluminum milk cans, then gets poured straight into the vat. I had to ask why aluminum? Why not plastic? He told me aluminum doesn't hold on to odors the way plastic can, so it does a better job of protecting the milk's flavor and quality. And when milk is the base of the ice cream, that small detail matters. Once a little more than half the milk is in, Isan tells me to start stirring and to move fast. If I slow down, the salep can clump up in the milk. And once that happens, getting the mixture smooth again becomes a whole lot harder. So I grab the metal paddle and stir as hard and as fast as I can. Now comes the rose water, and this is one of those ingredients you notice before you even taste the ice cream. In Bastani Sonati, rose water adds a soft floral aroma and helps balance the richness of the milk. It also pairs naturally with saffron, giving traditional Iranian ice cream much of its signature fragrance. Next, they move the mixture into the milk cooler. They carry it over in metal containers and pour it in a little at a time. Inside, rotating paddles keep everything moving while the mixture cools down. It stays here for a few hours. Later that night, they steep the saffron and add it in. Today, the base is ready. It's smooth and glossy with that warm golden yellow color from the saffron. From here, it goes into the ice cream machine where it churns for about 40 minutes. This is the point where the liquid base finally starts turning into ice cream. After that, it's ready for the freezer. Before filling the metal trays, they line them with plastic. It keeps the ice cream from sticking to the metal, makes the whole process cleaner, and helps them get each batch ready to serve and sell much faster. the ice cream is ready. They fill those same metal trays and leave them in the freezer overnight. By the next day, the ice cream is fully set and ready to serve. Those white pieces you see are chunks of frozen cream. They add little pockets of richness throughout the ice cream and make a big difference in the flavor and texture. They're one of the signature parts of traditional Iranian ice cream. Now it's the next day and the ice cream is fully set. They lift each batch out of its metal tray, then move it into a separate serving freezer. From here, it's ready to be scooped and sold. For the Faloodeh, they start by boiling water and sugar together until the sugar completely dissolves. What they end up with is a simple syrup, and it's one of the main parts of the recipe. The next day, they pour rose water into a set of metal trays, then add the syrup. As it freezes, a layer of ice forms across the surface. That cold, fragrant mixture becomes the base for the Faloodeh. Now, Mohsen, add those soft starch strands to the frozen rosewater syrup and give everything a good mix. As the icy syrup coats each strand, the Faloodeh starts getting that light, refreshing texture it's known for. And just like that, it's ready to serve. There are two different frozen desserts here. One is traditional Iranian ice cream. The other is Faloodeh. Those thin white strands in Faloodeh may look like noodles, and a lot of people mistake them for noodles at first, but they're actually soft starch strands made specifically for this dessert, then mixed with that icy rosewater syrup. Some people order the Faloodeh on its own. Others just want the ice cream. But for a lot of people, the favorite is a combination of both creamy saffron ice cream alongside cold, slightly chewy Faloodeh. Two completely different textures, sharing the same bowl.
قابلدار نیست 300 تومان
خیلی لطف کردید دست شما درد نکنه مرسی زنم اینجوریش کنم خیلی خوشمزه است به نظرم تست کنید فعلا با اجازه من
Honestly, this is really good, especially when you combine the two. Fresh lime juice goes into the Faloodeh, while sour cherry syrup is poured over both. I've tried traditional Iranian ice cream in a lot of places, but the quality here really stands out. Prices start at around 50 cents and go up to about $1, depending on the size. A kilo of ice cream is about $2.85, and a kilo of Faloodeh is around $2.
سلام قربان 1 کیلو فرمودی؟ قربان خدمت.
Next, we're heading to the Iran Historical Car Museum. It holds one of the region's most valuable collections of rare classic cars and royal limousines. Some are so rare that no other surviving example exists anywhere in the world, and they're right here in Iran. This is a 1934 Mercedes-Benz 500K Autobahn Courier. Only 6 were ever built, and this is the only surviving 500K version in the world. Its supercharged engine could reach around 124 miles per hour, seriously fast for the 1930s. Originally acquired for Reza Shah, this incredibly rare Mercedes is now preserved right here in Iran. This is a 1977 Lamborghini Countach LP400, and it looked like nothing else on the road. Even the name Countach comes from a Piedmontese expression of amazement, which feels pretty fitting. Its sharp, wedge-shaped body and scissor doors helped define Lamborghini's look for decades. With a 4-liter V12 and only around 150 built, this is one of the rarest versions of the Countach. This custom Chrysler K300 was a gift from Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi to Soraya Esfandiari. But what makes it really interesting is what they put inside: air conditioning, a refrigerator, power windows and seats, and even a small record player hidden in the dashboard. It needed 2 batteries to run everything. For the 1950s, this was basically a luxury lounge on wheels. This 1965 Rolls-Royce Phantom 5 is almost 20 feet long and seats 7 people, but the most unusual detail is its hardtop, which can fold away into the rear passenger area, turning this huge limousine into a convertible. Commissioned by the Pahlavi court, it was used for official ceremonies, royal visits, and welcoming foreign ambassadors. This 1969 Mercedes-Benz 600 was built like a palace on wheels. The windows, seats, sunroof, doors, and even the trunk were all operated by a powerful hydraulic system. In the 1960s, that level of automation was almost unheard of. And moving this enormous car required a massive 6.3-liter V8 engine. This is the Lamborghini Miura S, often considered the world's first true supercar. Its V12 sits sideways behind the seats, and those black eyelashes around the headlights became one of its signature details. Only 338 were built. This is the 1972 MPV Tehran, built by Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, and Volkswagen for Iran's 12-year-old crown prince. Its silver key limited the speed to 18 miles per hour. The gold key unlocked 106. Only one was ever built. This is the Ferrari 500 Superfast. Only 36 were built, and the Shah of Iran owned 2 of them. This is the Porsche 934, a racing version of the 911 Turbo. It produced 485 horsepower, but surprisingly, it still had electric windows. Only around 50 were built. This blue and gold carriage was built for the 1967 coronation of Mohammad Reza Shah and Empress Farah. It was made in Vienna, taken apart, flown to Tehran, and rebuilt here. During the ceremony, 8 white horses pulled it through the streets. The museum displays 61 historic vehicles across 4 main halls, including 21 Rolls-Royces and several one-of-a-kind cars. There's no official valuation, but what's on display could be worth somewhere between $50 and $100 million. Before modern roads, Iran's caravanserais were hotels, rest stops, stables, and meeting places, all in one. Travelers found food, water, shelter, and a safe place for their animals and goods. But they also exchanged news, ideas, and stories with people arriving from completely different parts of the world. We're on our way to a cafe that's become a regular hangout for a lot of young people in Tehran. It gets especially busy during the summer when people come out in the evenings to meet friends and spend some time together. Ordering here is pretty simple. They use a self-service touchscreen kiosk, so you can look through the menu, choose what you want, place your order, and get your receipt right there. Most items cost somewhere between $1 and $3. One thing that really caught my attention was the online reviews. Out of all the ice cream shops I looked up, Gelato House had the most reviews, and people seemed genuinely happy with what they got. That made me curious. So let's take a closer look at how they make the ice cream here and see what people like so much about it. First up is the Ferrero Bounty. It's ice cream covered in Nutella with pieces of brownie mixed in. Next up is the Villaggio Classic. This one combines ice cream with wild raspberry. This one is called Zagara. They start with the kataifi and pistachio sauce at the bottom, then add the ice cream. After that, they pour on another layer of pistachio sauce, add more kataifi, and finish it with slivered pistachios on top. So you get that pistachio flavor and crunch all the way through, not just on top. This one is called Bonaparte. They start with ice cream, cover it with Lotus Biscoff spread, and then add crushed pieces of crisp, flaky Napoleon pastry, just the baked pastry layers without the cream. This one is called Stracciatella. The cup is lined with chocolate and left in the freezer for a few hours, giving it a firm, frozen shell. Then they fill it with ice cream, make a small opening in the center with a knife, and pour chocolate sauce inside. A little cocoa powder goes on top, and that's it. I invited a few people who were already here to join me and tell me what they really think. Now we've got all 5 ice creams on the table, and we're trying them together. I'm starting with the Stracciatella, and honestly, I really like it. It's creamy, chocolatey, and just really good. But that's only my opinion. Let's see if everyone else feels the same way.
عالی بود. یه افترتیست بیسکویتی و کاراملی.
Besides the specialty ice creams, they also have a gelato counter with a whole range of flavors. You can pick one flavor, combine a few, and order however many scoops you want. For a lot of young people in Tehran, cafes can become exactly that. The food brings people in, but the time they spend together is what turns a cafe into a regular hangout. We're heading up toward Darband, where Tehran starts to meet the foothills of the Alborz Mountains. It's long been a favorite place for walking, hiking, and spending an evening away from the city traffic. Along the way, we come across this antique shop, filled with old pieces that make you want to slow down and take a closer look. You may not know the story behind every object, but that's part of the fun. A little farther up, this woman's outfit caught my eye. The colors, the details, everything just worked. Then, at the entrance to Darband, we met these two young photographers taking pictures for visitors. And somehow, the calmest one there was the parrot, just sitting quietly, completely comfortable with all the attention. Now we're at the sour snack stalls, and you'll keep seeing them all the way up. They sell more than just lava shock. There are sour plums, dried fruits, and all kinds of colorful fruit mixes. If you love sour flavors, this might be your favorite part of Darband. Darband is lined with restaurants, but it's all the greenery that really makes them stand out. Trees overhead, flowers spilling out of pots, and little corners that feel tucked away from the city. And no matter what time of year you come, there's always something here that makes the walk feel special. You'll find hot fava beans and ash, a thick Persian soup. They're usually more popular in winter, but the nights up here are cooler than central Tehran. So even in summer, you'll still see people stopping for a warm bowl. I saw this young woman sitting here reading a book with all these drawings beside her. I asked if she'd made them herself, and she said, yeah. She told me she'd love to become a successful designer someday. And honestly, her work was really good. She was selling each drawing for only $1 or $2. These flowers are for everyone who stayed with us this far. We're always working to make these videos better, and honestly, they take a lot of time to create. Sometimes a single video can take up to 3 weeks before it's ready to share with you. So if you're enjoying the journey, please leave a like. And if there's a moment you especially enjoyed, tell us in the comments. Your feedback really helps because we're making these videos for you. Thank you for spending your time with us. And if you'd like to support our work a little more, you can use the Super Thanks button below the video.
What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show.
واسه خوشگلا 10% آفر. من چه آدم حوالی ام؟
یه 6 و 4 به هم بده خدایا. 3 و 2 1 2 3.
This shop has a lot more than the flat sheets of lava shock. There are sour plums, dried apricots, different fruit pieces, and all kinds of chewy fruit snacks covered in thick sauces. I picked up a mixed box and actually tried most of what was inside. Some were properly sour, while others had that nice sweet and tart balance. I only filmed 2 of them so the video wouldn't run too long. First, I tried a piece of apricot. Then I went for one of the red pieces, and honestly, I still don't know exactly what fruit that was. See that chairlift up there? Let's take a ride and see what Darband looks like from above at night. Right now, they're unloading a fresh delivery of fruit from the back of this pickup. This happens 3 times a day, every day. Tuchal is one of Tehran's busiest juice shops, and with so many customers coming through, they go through the fruit quickly. A few hours later, another pickup arrives, and they do it all over again. The menu here is huge. If you can think of a fruit, there's a good chance they can turn it into a drink. Mango, pineapple, cantaloupe, watermelon, orange, sour cherry, barberry, you name it. You can order them on their own or blended together like banana and strawberry, orange and pineapple, or mango and mulberry. And honestly, that's only a small part of the menu.
مسابقه
This one is called majoon torsh, which basically means sour mix. It's made with wild plums, barberries, and cornelian cherries, giving it a sharp, tart flavor. The ice cream delivery comes in every day too. They use so much of it in their shakes that they need another shipment daily. Now, let's head inside and see how those shakes come together. This is the strawberry shake. They start with the strawberries, then add the ice cream and blend the two together. Once that's mixed, in goes the pistachio. Then they let the machine keep turning until everything comes together smooth and even. After that, it's ready for the bottles filled one by one. Most of the shakes here get pistachio mixed in, and that's what gives them such a rich, nutty flavor. Most of the time in Tehran, if you want something to drink, you can just walk in, order, and head out. But not here. By sunset, the line is already getting long, and at night, it can be huge. Sometimes more than 100 people are standing here just waiting for their turn. And honestly, every time I've come by, it's been packed. I don't think I've ever seen this place quiet, especially in the evening.
ولی که اینجوری نه.
Converted to US dollars, most drinks here come out to around $1.20 to $1.40. Of course, that's only the exchange rate comparison. What that price feels like on a local income is a different story. These are 4 of my favorites, and I wanted to share them with you. This is the Nutella shake, made with Nutella, ice cream, and milk. The strawberry shake comes with strawberries, ice cream, and pistachios. The 4-nut shake has almonds, cashews, pistachios, walnuts, milk, and ice cream. And for anyone who likes sour flavors, there's the sour majoon, made with wild plums, barberries, and cornelian cherries. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Wherever you are, I wish you all the best. If you enjoyed this one, please give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments. And if you'd like to support the channel even more, you can use the super thanks button. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.